fresh worries other than the ones that we know about?
No, it's not. I don't see it as testing times. This is why we've got the squad, and if we've got to do certain things in a slightly different way, but we'll still stick to our principles. No, at this moment in time, it's, what is it, 8:57. I've had nothing yet, so I'm hoping we're still all okay.
Right. Have you avoided black cats and ladders? And because just as you seem like you're getting a bit of momentum, something else crops up to put another obstacle in your way.
That's fine. That's football. It's all part of the challenge, and it's always a learning experience, always a learning day. Things that we always look at. Well, could I do something better? Could we do something better? So I'm really relaxed about it. It is what it is. You know, we've done everything as best as we can with our control with everything. So I can sleep well at night knowing that.
I'm not sure how much of a stats man you are, but you know that you can look at it in two ways. I've read a couple of different previews on this game. One calling Newport County out of form because it's 1 win in 5, and another calling Newport County in form because it's unbeaten in 4 and the level of the performances.
Yeah. If I just look at it game to game, and I haven't spoke to you all since Tranmere, so I look at the Tranmere performance. Thought it was very good. I thought the way we started the Forest Green game was excellent. Was in the way that we pressed, the way that we were in transition, the way that we tried to play. The goal shows that kind of what we're trying to be about. We're trying to build from our keeper, but still having that option to play in the front and then getting runners off streety quickly and effectively. I thought we've shown that. From my point of view, I think we're getting closer to where I believe and we believe where we can be, but we still got a bit of work to do.
You say you're getting closer to where you want to be. And as a manager, that's all you can process on, isn't it? It's all you can focus on is the bigger picture of the team and the performances. But you're so close. And is the temptation then to start putting results above performances? Because you know what fans are like, you know what football's like. It gets wrapped up in the short term. And having been so close for so many years, it's that temptation, isn't it?
Yeah, naturally. I just think from my point of view, I just look at how we perform. So when I talk about how close we are, I just try to think, I'm greedy in the sense I'm trying to get the perfect performance for 98 minutes. And I think if we get that, in my eyes, I think then we can get relative success. The way that I see it is that sometimes you get to these stages where, results are probably more important with the 13 games you got to go. And it's kind of, I just want to focus on game to game. So our focus now will be purely Saturday against Bristol Rovers.
You're speaking with an old head on those young shoulders, James. It's just coming up to around about 5 months in the job. It all started against Bristol Rovers, of course.
It did. And I've had some good experiences in a short period of time. And I'm loving every day of it. I'm really lucky to be what I'm doing. I'm really fortunate to be what I'm doing. I'm lucky to have the great support that I have from the hierarchy and my support staff around me. So and the players, most importantly, have been terrific. I can't speak well enough of them.
What's the biggest lesson you've learned so far? If you were to rewind before that Bristol Rovers game and go see a slightly younger version of yourself, slightly less tired version of yourself, what would you be telling him?
I'm probably to be a little bit calmer at times. If you're looking at it, but I've got good people around me who can help me do that. So that's really important for me.
Have you been surprised at yourself on the touchline? And look, I know that you were. It's not as if this is the first time you've been involved in games like that. But as a manager, have you been surprised at your natural sort of reactions on the touchline and not sort of having to sit back a little bit more as you were as a coach?
Yeah, it's different when you're man at the front. I suppose sometimes it can be a great place because when things are going well, but sometimes it can be a lonely place when things are not going so well. But I just look at it. I've still got a lot to learn. I learn every day. I've had a short amount of games, and all I try to do is just every day I think, well, how can I do that better? Or that was good. Can I improve on it and keep doing that? But yeah, I'm nowhere near where I want to be yet. because I want the teams to be a reflection of me. So I've got to keep working hard every day to make my players, my staff, as best they possibly can be, because there's nothing better for me than seeing people do well.
I mean, the fans obviously made quite the racket against Forest Green. It's going to be another big occasion. You're trying to make the most of this home advantage that you've had, but being a Newport boy, it comes pressures. Managers living in this sort of bubble. Is the weekly shop still going okay, or is someone trying to tell you that you need to put Scott Bennett back in defence? So
yeah, I get a bit of that, which I'm getting used to. I don't go out as much now. I become homebound a little bit more because of it, I suppose. But it's like I say, people who pay to come to the games and people who come to pay and watch it on iFollow and come and buy our shirts, they're entitled to their opinion. Try to listen to it, but I think, you know what, I'm like Chris. I kind of follow my way, and I'll continue to do that to how we want to do it. But I'm really grateful of the support that I get, especially since coming in. The fans and supporters have been terrific.
It should be, a good occasion at Rodney Parade again. There's going to be big numbers there. They're going to bring a lot, and they're going to come in plenty of spirit because, let's make no bones about it, they're in good form and not conceding goals either.
Yeah, they are in good form. And you look at their last 10 games, they won 6 games. I think it is 6 games, 3 draws, 1 loss. So they're on a decent bit of form, to be fair. And they've come on. I think they've got a really good manager. I think they've got a really good football club, really good squad. So it's going to be a really tough challenge for us tomorrow. But like we have done for the last couple of games, we just got to focus on ourselves, on our principles and what we try to do. And we've got to try our best to impose them on the game.
I wish you all the best, James. Hopefully the local shop goes well this week and you can do it in peace.
Thanks, mate.
Click and collect. That's what you need to do.
Yeah, that's the new one. That's the new one. You are right, mate.
You mentioned that you will have to make a change in defence, but very much things don't change. Is that the way you're seeing it?
Yeah, for sure. We won't deviate away from our principles. I'll make that quite clear in what we're trying to do. I'm going to be quite stubborn on that because it's what I believe in and what I believe is right. And someone told me before I got the job, just keep sticking to your principles and your beliefs, because the moment you go away from that's your probably moment of weakness and shows that you're not believing in what you're doing. So I've always thought that anyway, and I've seen that many times from my experiences. We won't deviate away from what we feel is the right thing to do for our team.
How important is Mickey? He's always important to the team, but especially given that you will have a bit of a change next to him in a rejig.
So yeah, in relation to that, he's the only left-sided centre half kind of thing. Yeah, well, that's it. It is what it is in that sense. Ryan Haynes can play left-sided centre half. Matty Dolan can play left-sided centre half as well. In that, it tweaks the rest of the team around, but I can't sit back and worry about what might or might not happen. And someone said to me yesterday, someone tried looking for a crystal ball on Amazon but couldn't find one. So if I could get one of them as well, I said I'd be laughing. But I'm just going, I'm learning and more, and I keep saying it to players about staying in the moment. That's a really big thing for us, because we can get carried away and look at things about where we can be. But our focus really right now is staying in the moment. The moment today is preparing for Bristol Rovers and preparing what we need to do. And then tomorrow we'll be putting in the performance that we need to get the positive result that hopefully we can get.
Have you made your mind up yet with what you're doing at the back, or are you still there?
I've made my mind up, yeah.
Oh, I see.
I'm not telling you, Chris.
Oh no, well, I wasn't even going to go there. I mean, but nonetheless, wherever Cameron Norman is, he's been really important. It's been an impressive first season from him.
I think he's done terrific. I still think there's areas that he can improve on, and he knows that. But I still think there's things that he does really well. And what we try to do, we try to live them for what they can do and try to improve them with what they can't. And that's what we're trying to do with the players that we've got. So that's really important for us.
And having versatility in a League Two, it's invaluable, isn't it? As with Aaron Lewis, who's coming up as well. Sort of.
Yeah. And I look at that. You look at the same with Matty Dolan and Scott Bennett. I feel that at the minute we've got injuries, but we still got a really good squad. I still think that. I still believe that. And when the lads that we trained Wednesday morning after the Forest Green game, the lads who didn't play, the rest of the lads are recovering. I've got to say that the training levels on Wednesday were terrific. You know, the way that the younger players and the older players who weren't involved moved the ball, conducted themselves, how they took training on was really first class.
On that front, through necessity, you had quite an attacking bench. Lewis Collins is on there. Where do you see him as his sort of position?
Yeah, I still see him as a striker. And the way that we play with two front players. We don't particularly play with wide players. With how we play, obviously we try to overload the middle of the pitch and work our fullbacks out, and there's no secret in that. That's what we do. So I see Lewis as one of the front two. But Lewis has trained really well the last 10 days. I've been really, really pleased with him. So he's got to be patient, like Alex Fisher was, like Rob Street was, like Timmy is. So it's Dom's our talisman at the minute, isn't he? He's scoring all the goals, but Dom knows that he's being pushed by those lads, and that's the difference. So Dom is getting pushed every week in every session, in every performance, because the rest of the lads are doing their jobs to push him as well.
Finally, for me, where are Bristol Rovers different to when you played them in October?
I think they've evolved a little bit in the central areas of the pitch, where they try to build a little bit differently with one pivot rather than two. So I think they try and commit a few more bodies forward than what they did before when we played them last time. So that's something we have to be mindful of. I think it'll be quite an attacking game tomorrow, another tactical game, because Joey Barton was an excellent player and he's shown his credentials as a manager. So it's going to be a tough game tomorrow, tactically, again, like it was against Forest Green and similar to other games we have. So we need to be ready for that.
And it will just make a great atmosphere when having away fans. And I know you'd rather everyone was cheering for you, but it does. We saw it at Swindon, although the result didn't go away. It was just a great occasion. Yeah,
I look back to Swindon. I thought the performance was excellent. We just didn't get the result that I thought we deserved. But the occasion and the atmosphere that's created gives an extra edge to the game, which I think then it gives an extra motivation to everybody.
Oh, good. Brilliant. See you tomorrow. Cheers, mate.
Thank you, Chris. Thank you.